It's your boy Mike, welcome back to another Gekishin Squadra video. So if you aren't already aware, combo cards actually have combos themselves that aren't really discussed inside of the game itself. And that's what Blitz goes over inside of this video. They talk about the fact that the system is still in place and that there are effects such as boosting all attack, your defense, and reducing skill cooldown time, right? And then they showcase one of those the Trinity Force, right? However, I wanted to go ahead and give a refresher on all of the combos as well because of the fact that it only goes over one inside of this video. And in case you were curious about it, we can go ahead and discuss all of it, right? So inside of the Project Multi is when this system was actually implemented, but then they took out this icon, which is kind of funny. The description of it is when you collect 3 cards, you can activate a combo bonus. By combining different symbols, the effect of the bonus will change. So choose a combo that fits your hero and situation. For example, if you get 3 red cards, you can activate the overwhelming power bonus and get a huge boost to your attack power. There was also a cheat sheet made for each one of the combos as well as what they do. And we're going to go ahead and talk about all of them. So the all red bonus will give you all attack up. The green bonus will give you all defense up. And the blue bonus will give you skill cooldown reduction. There also is other small bonuses here and there, depending on if you go red, red, green, 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 red, blue, blue, red. Like it just keeps going in that like 2 card and then the other color order. What it does is it boosts the card that you had the most cards in the color of. It increases that by a small amount, and then the final card will increase the color by a tiny amount, right? Then if you go red, green, and blue, it just gives a tiny amount all across the board. So you get a tiny amount of attack, a tiny amount of defense, and a tiny amount of skill cooldown. But I do think it is still worth talking about because inside of the video, the only thing that was really shown was the Trinity Force, which is just the tiny amounts of all 3. And when I actually tested it in game, the effects were pretty decent when you look at it, right? So let's go ahead and swap over to the game, right? All right, now that we're in the actual game itself, this is what the power of like all 3 red cards is able to do, right? So we can see here that the numbers for just doing basic attacks with no card activated is just going to be 185, right? But then we go ahead and get all 3 red cards, and as you can see, none of them are activated right now. We went from going to 185 to 210. And I tested this with a couple of other heroes, and it seems that the rough percentage of this boost is 12%. So by just going an all attack build, you get 12% attack, right? And that also does apply to the Kamehameha, basically every single one of your skills. And that's really, really nice, right? What I do want to say though, and I forgot to say before we did start, is that at the end of the day, though, I do think that the combos for these are negligible versus the effects of these cards. So if you're someone who likes going super snowball, solid barrier, and you like going the limit breaking jump, for example, and you just like going like the all color build like that, and you're like, oh, well, maybe I should swap to like an all 3 red card build. The abilities of whatever you're going to be choosing is going to matter more than whatever the bonus is by doing these combos. So I do want to mention that I think this is something that is like, you should know that it's a thing, but should you actually seek out to do it? 9 times out of 10, probably not, right? But again, the boost from this power is still significant because going from 185 damage to 210 is still something that is, it can win fights, you know, like it's not something that is just non-existent and then it just doesn't feel like it's doing anything, right? And if we go ahead and swap over to the other ones for a second, this is where I think that the most amount of impact can be seen from these divine combo cards, like combos, because we go from doing something like this and then we have all of that cooldown reduced, of course, when we have the full health, but it's 15 seconds basically for like the skill 3, right? And then we go ahead and go Gekishin High, we're going to go ahead and do something like Epic Hunter, and we get Limit Breaking Jump. And once we go ahead and wait for this to come back, we can see that we went from going to a 15-second cooldown all the way down to 13 seconds. So that's 2 seconds and a decent chunk of time taken off just by going all 5 cards. And that doesn't even factor in if you go other cards that are going to reduce it even further, right? Like if we go Backstab, for example, and reduce our cooldowns for that unit, I think that's, yeah, we can see here that the chunk was taken off for the cooldown, and then look, he's already back up. Like that's without getting the hit off, right? And then once we do actually get Zarbon to hit, boom, HSM automatically back up after that, right? So that can make a big difference in my opinion, and why again I just wanted to make this video. But when situations like that can happen, I do think it could influence some games with some of these characters, because if you're someone like Frieza who wants to have a lot of your skills out constantly, you want, like, Frieza is kind of worthless without Zarbon and Dodora. So having it where you're able to just bust out these cooldowns a lot faster is very significant. And if we go ahead and look at the last combos on this list, I say last combo, but I'm going to be honest, the other combos on this list are so small that you won't really see that much of a boost from it. That's why I wanted to just really showcase the biggest ones with just going all 3. We can see that the defense numbers do get a pretty decent jump as well. So if we go ahead and have no cards available to us, and we have Vegeta go ahead and attack us, we could have 75 per hit, and then if we apply our provoked, it reduces it all the way down to 26 per hit, right? Let's go ahead and have Vegeta stop attacking us for a second. Let's go ahead and get 2 easy. Let's get Solid Barrier, and let's go ahead and get Defense Step. While I don't really recommend going this combo per se, if you were going to do something, I would probably recommend getting something like Build Up instead, and then possibly Guardian Angel. This is mostly just so that way you can see the flat numbers, right? So we go ahead and have Vegeta attack us again. And it's 17 with Solid Barrier up, and then it goes from 75 all the way to 66. We do the attacks again, and it goes down to 23 damage, right? All right, I just wanted to double check the footage. But yeah, it's not, again, it's not like too significant for the defense one either, because it's just like, we go from doing 26 damage when we have, or getting 26 damage when we have the Vegeta attack us with the basic effects, and then it just goes down to just 23, right? So it's not something that is just going to purely get you wins again by itself, but when you have it where it's like boosted with the cards too, and then you have like the Solid Barrier up, you get the maybe you have all of your build up done as well. That's when I do think that it like when it's paired with other things, I do think that it could definitely help out a lot. It's not, basically what I'm trying to say is that it's not good by itself, but when you pair it with other things, it could be decent, right? Because yeah, like I said, we don't even have something like Build Up to have it where like that damage is reduced even more. When you pair it with something like Provoked, though, it can reduce the damage by a drastic amount, but I feel like that's more the Provoked than anything, right? So either way though, it's just something to keep in mind, right? That the combo cards and the combos themselves are like the bonus is a nice addition, and the combos themselves can help out some fights, but at the end of the day, I still believe that you should definitely prioritize getting the combo cards that you actually prefer, rather than thinking of like, oh, well, this 12% boost is going to help me, right? Because you're probably just going to be able to get a lot of these combos by accident already anyways, right? And it's exactly why I think it's very, like, a 90% chance of you probably not even going to be able to use it, unless you're someone like Frieza who gets like a decent amount of skill cooldown reduction, or can benefit from more additional skill cooldown reduction, unless you're someone like Caulifla who can benefit from getting extra defense, unless you're going like a full attack build and you want to just do that more damage, right? But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys have a great streak. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.